Morning. Welcome everyone to this webinar about how to play life's game, the game of life. And the reason why that we are doing this is because Vadim and I we met like 12 years ago on an international scout camp in Canada, and then so many things has happened during these 10 years. I got hospitalized because I got diagnosed with a very serious mental illness that Vadim he helped me heal. And this is the process that we would like to share with others in a much more modified and nuanced way that is much easier to adapt into. Um, so the diagnosis that I was given by the doctors is called negative paranoid schizophrenia, and it's where thoughts just like comes in and kind of like takes over everything, and it has been very difficult to like realign with reality. But Vadim he helped me in such a great way of coming back and finding out what is real through aligning with one's soul and finding one's purpose, and then ground in the way that you'll see reality from a point of view that doesn't have any kind of resistance included. So it has been quite a process to come to the conclusion that life actually can be lived with a minimum amount of resistance. And what we would like to share with you, that is how that you can do this in 2 months, like how that you can transform yourself in a playful way, or like using some playful elements by seeing life more as a game. And the practicalities around this course is that it will last for 2 months, and we will meet on Wednesdays where we'll have a group call, and on Sundays we'll have a live session with Vadim. And then it will cost 700 euros. And through this process, the goal is for us to um, for us to help you find your purpose and your values, and give you some routines that you can practice in your everyday life, so you can get the results that your souls desire, so you can like become um, a player in the game of life. And Vadim, he has such an incredible, vast amount of knowledge. It's really like you're looking at a GIF, right? These infinity GIFs, and then it just like goes on and on and on and on. So no matter which kind of question you have, then Vadim, he can surely answer it. Because like I've known him for more than 12 years now, and no matter what, there will always be a very a simple answer to a very complex problem, and that is something that I deeply admire Vadim for doing. And he's one of my greatest friends, and I feel so blessed of meeting him, and how that he have been helping me transform myself into living a life without any kind of medication. And I'm teacher as a profession, and I graduated from the design school here in Denmark with a master's degree in design for play. And this is also some qualities that I will make bonus episode about, where we'll focus more about how to live the game of life from a more existential perspective. And this is backed up by science. I have a collaboration partner in America called Super Better. I can send you a link afterwards. And they have a whole concept about living life gamefully. But before that we come that far, I would just like to welcome our host and the expert in a way, the modern spiritual teacher, Vadim. So welcome very much, everyone, and welcome, Vadim. We're so pleased to have you here.
Well, namaste, everyone, and thank you so much, Thomas, for introducing and sharing your life path and your story. And of course, I think the most important thing in any type of knowledge are the results that we get through the work and the practices that we do. As eventually, there are many people who like to speak, and for me, well, I like to see results. And the things that we'll be sharing and we'll be going through are just quite very practical, hardcore things by just doing them, you'll get results. You know, it's in the same way, if you want to be flexible, if you'll do yoga every day, at least 15, 20 minutes, well, you can have the confidence that after 10 trainings, for sure, you will be a lot more flexible. After 30 trainings, you'll be much, much more flexible. And the same thing with the aspect of self-love, self-transformation, self-acknowledgement, that it's all about the small actions and the small steps which bring the biggest results. There's a very interesting mathematical progression that if we become just 1% better every day, then it already creates for us a very big change. So in the year we have 365 days. How do you think? How much more better, stronger, more flexible, more healthier, more conscious you can become if you'll just become 1% better per day? How do you think? What is the expansion throughout the year? Just write in chat your number or interest. So the correct answer is that if we become just 1% better a day, and we have 365 days in a year, you don't only become 3.5 times better. You actually become in the year more than in 37 times better. 37 times, because this 1%, it always progresses. And through the progression and the 365 days, you literally become more than 37 times better, stronger, and conscious. In a very simple way, I would say that every year you can become 6, 7 times more stronger and better version of yourself. And to achieve that, it's all important just to do the right actions. And when we're doing any actions, it's really good to have somebody also close to us who is also on the same path. You know, it's like with a training or a study. When you study by yourself, it's one dynamic. But when you're in a group with other people or players or participants, the group energy, it's a lot bigger and it's a lot more easier to focus. So in my life, I have studied quite deep how our brain works, which mechanism it uses often to manipulate us and to use and brings us and uses upon our consciousness. So to put us aside and focus on the things that the brain wants, but if we want to live our true lives, we always have to know what we want. We as the soul, what I want with my soul and what I have to do to achieve that. So in this course that we're starting, this is exactly a new beginning. I like always to say a new beginning, because the new beginning of your life starts when you decided. Once you have decided for yourself that it's time to get into new reality, it's time to create an update for yourself, for your health, for the people around, for the profession that you do, for the literal physical reality that surrounds you. But it all starts with a choice that we want and have decided that I begin my new life. And in this course, what we'll do and how will look like our work and dynamic. Well, first of all, I want to say my deep gratitude to all of you that you work upon yourself, that you have curiosity to your soul and to your life. If you think that's normal, well, I can tell you that many people really don't give a value for themselves. They speak about their lives, but they truly don't try to understand what they truly want, what brings them happiness, and what it truly means to take care about yourself in a loving way. And as you're here on this webinar and watching this video, this means that you sincerely want to have the things that are important for you in life. And in here, I just want to tell you the words of support. Who knocks, to him the door is open. Who asks, to him it is given. And who creates, well, he receives. That's what he is creating. And in the same way here, in the work that we're about to start to do, it is all about not Amanita, and it's all about you. The course, we call it amanitamuscaria diary because it's originally I have developed it especially for people who start to microdose. But the methods and the techniques that I share here to work absolutely perfect even without the microdosing, as it's generally just spiritual practices and some more practical instruments that if you implement in your life, well, you'll just become more stronger, more conscious, more happy. And at the same time, if you need some extra support, well, here comes exactly Amanita. As you know, Amanita gives us a boost of energy. It gives us a specific level of clearness inside of us. And through that, we get that, let's say, inspiration to act. So once Amanita gives us this boost of energy, it's very good to know on what to focus on. Because if you act and work upon yourself while you're using Amanita muscaria, you can very quickly achieve great results. From my experience with last courses, now some people during the 2 months of time and the work that we do make such a work upon themselves that in a classical way it could take them 3, 5 years, or to some even 10. Because focusing your consciousness upon yourself sounds like an easy thing, but if you look into your life, you'll see that all of reality and the system tries always to steal our time and our attention. It focuses our attention and energy upon all of the topics, economy, entertainment, politics, and blah, blah, blah. When the only pure essence that if we want to get our life together and bring ourselves to the next level is to focus our attention on the one and only most important person in your life. And try to guess who is that person. But exactly, that's you. And the more you focus your consciousness upon yourself, the more quicker you can grow. And during our work, you can say almost all of the practices are literally connected with the focus upon ourselves and to approach the transformation from multiple levels. So our soul is playing in this avatar and experiencing this physical life thanks to this physical body. Well, as we know, in the middle of our brain there's such a small spine line, and that the spine line, it works out DMT. Also, scientists say that exactly in the spine line, that's the place through which our soul controls the brain, and through the brain it controls all of the rest of the body. So our soul is playing and enjoying. If we want to get the biggest amount of results from it, we should better and deeper understand how this, let's say, system, how this game works. And what we have to pay attention on so to achieve good success. So first of all, we have a physical body. Physical body, it is connected literally with this physical world. We can feel with it the reality. And this is with what we interact with everybody around. And this is what people see. But at the same time, there are 2 more bodies. And the second one is the emotional body. The emotional body, that's the area in reality. It's like when we're feeling strong emotions, we don't feel our physical body. We're literally are just in those emotions and those things which are happening inside of us. So once our consciousness jumps from the physical body to the emotional body, it starts to experience a big variety of emotions and sometimes feelings. So that's the second body, the emotional body. The third body is the mental body. The mental body is what we're talking right now. Everything that what is connected with words, everything that is connected with imagination, past, future. This is our mental body. So these 3 bodies, they form eventually our energetic body, or as people call it, aura, depending on how you take care of your physical, emotional, mental body and how you feel. This creates your level of energy and the aura around you, thanks to which you can manifest and create the reality that you want, or very fast, or more slower, depending on your amount of energy. So, and eventually all of this and all of these practices, let's say there are also 3 other thin layers of bodies which you open up when you're doing spiritual practices. But eventually, the whole meaning of the game that we're playing here is to rediscover who we truly are. And the discovery lies through our soul with the connection with the spirit, as there's also a spiritual body. Spiritual body is that essence from where we come from, as our soul was made, let's say, by God, by Creator, or by a higher self. Eventually, spirituality, it literally means returning back to the spirit. So this is the main difference between spirituality and religion, that religion, it focuses more on outer authority. It has specific rules that everybody follows. And if you don't follow these rules, you're usually excluded from the religion or that religious group. Spiritual and spirituality, that is the original essence from which religions were made. And spiritual practice, you focus on the spirit, and you focus on the spirit through your own personal soul. So you don't have no outer authority rather than yourself and your soul. And through your soul and your connection with your soul, you create already the connection with the spirit. If you don't create the connection with your soul, you can never connect to your higher self, and you cannot connect consciously and experience the God consciousness or the whole consciousness. So eventually, in the work that we'll be doing, we'll be so practically going through, first of all, the understanding. What wants my soul? What is its values? We'll send you diagnosed tablets, thanks to which you will be able to make an imprint about yourself here right now. How are you doing on your physical level? Are you treating yourself good? Are you doing enough of sports and stretching? And are you eating correct? What are the habits? And does your body feel happy in the way that you treat it? Or maybe we can do some better work and send some practical more love to it. So you would feel even better, and that if you have any pain, it will disappear. Or if you have any sickness, that it would transform. Or if you have any addictions, so that it would be disappear in your life and you will become free and happy. So then we will also analyze the emotional body. So it's very important to really have a conscious understanding how I feel right now inside of myself. What is really happening? Am I happy, or am I pretending to be happy? Do I feel energized, and do I wake up in my life and I want to quickly start the day? Or do I wake up and I want to stay in bed and close my eyes? So this aspect of feeling, it's a very, very important thing. From my practice, I see women are a lot more better masters in listening to their feelings and trusting their feelings than men do. But it's a skill that can be developed by both sides, and it's something what is just the most effective instrument that I know. If you develop the understanding how to take care of your emotional body and how to listen to your feelings, then you will open up the strength of your intuition. As your intuition is nothing more than the language of your soul that is being transcended to you. But the soul, in many cases, if the brain doesn't want to listen to it, it blocks it. So the soul speaks with us through our body and through the feelings that happen in our body. So once you learn to understand your feelings, you will understand the language of your soul, where it will guide us. So this reason, taking care of the emotional body, it's fundamental. And of course, mental body. Mental body, it means the clearance in understanding who you are. What are your values? Where are you going? What do I want to do in life? What is the reality I want to create for myself and my close ones? So people that know what they want, they get it. So simple. Well, how do you think? Do they get what they don't know what they want? Exactly. Usually these people get what they don't want to get because they don't know what they personally want. So they agree on that, what the reality is offering them. But in many cases, so what reality offers is something what was implemented into our brain from kindergarten or school or media, that eventually from our childhood, we're being partly brainwashed upon believing that if you want to have love, appreciation, and support, that you have to do something. Especially in our, let's say, Western culture, everybody who are connected or the culture is connected to Christian faith and religion, all of us have a specific mindset. I call it slavery mindset, where we were being taught from our childhood that we're not whole. And the moment we come to this life, that we're imperfect of the sin of Adam, and that actually from the moment of being born, that we own someone, that we have to deserve the love, that we have to serve, so to get appreciations, that we're imperfect and we have to work so hard to prove everybody that we can be perfect. Well, this I call slavery mindset because it focuses away the understanding that I have the power to create the reality that I want. I'm already perfect because I'm part of God and God is perfect. And of this reason, I don't need to prove nothing to you. I don't need your love. I don't need your support. I don't need you to feel myself happy. I don't need your offerings so to live my interesting life in reality. The only thing what matters to me is to know what I want, what is important for my soul, what are my values, what is my game of life that I want to play, what is the game that my soul came here to play and experience in this specific lifetime. So a person that knows that, you cannot manipulate him. And a person who doesn't know who he is and what is his value and where he's heading, it's very easy to manipulate and to focus him on doing the action that the person doesn't want to do. And in many cases, this is how modern people are being controlled, is through the mind, through the mental level, through the logic. As through the logic, you can explain and create fears in the head and manipulate a person to do the things that he doesn't want to do. In a simple format, they can make a person work all of his lifetime, 5-6 days a week, 7-8 hours, and thinking that it's normal to have in a year 2 weeks off, or to explain him that it's okay that when your child is being born, that you can spend with him 2-3 weeks, and then you have to run back to the work. Or another very, let's say, popular way of fooling people, to create fear as if somebody will destroy you, and then to send people to destroy those people first. And this is what happens often with wars, that if you speak with every person and ask, do you want to kill someone, or do you want anybody to suffer from your hand? And people say, no, because it's very hard to find a psychologically broken person who will openly say that he wants to kill anyone. But if you tell these people in a specific way that, for example, they will come and kill you, they will come take your house, they will come take your land, or they will come and rape your, let's say, family, through this, you can motivate, especially men, to go and kill others when nobody has ever done anything to them. So in other words, it's very easy to manipulate people who don't listen to their feelings, who don't listen to themselves. Through logic, it's very easy to make people act in the way that for which they will have to pay a very big price. And this price will be, of course, karma. This price will be their lifetime and future lifetimes, and their children will pay the price, and the families will pay the price. Everybody will pay what they have created. That's the word karma. It stands, it is translated in the way, the reason, the connection of the reason why things happen. I'll translate it in a very simple way, that there's always a reason why you have right now in your life the experience that you're experiencing. So, for example, if a person is on the street, or he's drunk, or he has a sickness, or he has cancer, or whatsoever, all of the lifetime the person was going into the direction of creating that reality and that sickness and that what he has right now in his life. So when the person starts to take in his power over his life and understand that the only person who created that what you have in your life is just you, that's the moment when you can take back your control and focus the actions on bringing yourself there where you want to be. So in our work during the course, we will profoundly go through, first of all, the analysis of our physical, emotional, mental bodies to make a diagnosis diagnose. Afterwards, we'll go into a deeper study about our soul and analyze what is important for my soul, what brings it happiness, joy, enjoyment, inspiration, what is truly important for me. And if you know what is important for you, then you can actually very easily understand why you came here in this lifetime and what is that main game, that main goal, what you want to achieve. People who don't know what they love and who don't analyze what brings them happiness and enjoyment, well, these people are very often very lost. And you can easily tell him, oh, go become rich, and then everybody will love you, or become powerful and get power, and then everybody will love you and support you, admire you. Or so they tell us that we have to let go of our personal freedom, focus on just achieving the things what the system offers us, and then we're going to be happy. Well, eventually, I work a lot with people who are also millionaires. Some of them are billionaires. Well, billionaires in Russian rubles, in I would say in dollars, that would be 100 millions. But these people who have also achieved very big success and have sacrificed a big part of their lives to achieve that, well, they get very disappointed because they have dedicated 15, 20 years of their lifetime in achieving that, what the system, the films, the media promised them that would bring them happiness or success. But then when they come there and they have sacrificed a big part of their life and they become this powerful and famous and rich, turn out to be that to have love and to have happiness, you need absolutely other things. And actually, by having money, it doesn't promise you that you will have a good relationship with your family or friends, or if you will be popular, that people would sincerely love you, or they would support you. On the contradiction, usually when people achieve these things, they discover that the true values, what bring them happiness, totally lie at a different angle. And that if you want to have something, you just have to develop it. You just have to understand. If I want love, and I want for people to love me, well, first of all, I then have to figure out how to receive this love, or how to love myself so that other people would also start to love me. So by understanding, or if you want a good relationship, in the same aspect, you have to understand what it takes to have a good relationship, which qualities I need to develop. Do you have to develop my intelligence, the IQ, or I need to develop my EQ, emotional intelligence, and learn to express myself, understand the feelings that my close person is sharing with me. So that's the next level. So eventually, we will go through the diagnostic of understanding where we are with our physical, emotional, mental bodies. We will analyze our soul, and I'll give exercises so you would finally make a deep analysis about what is truly important for you. As only if you know what is important for you, then you can easily move through your life without paying attention on the life of others. As the only person who is important in your life is who? And why you are so important? Well, imagine that you came with your soul here alone. Like, imagine, I like to compare life with a game, because truly our higher self, you can say that's the person who sits at the computer. So our higher self sits down at this computer. At this computer, he can create a world which we call life, or a game that we call life, and he makes a character. He makes a soul and makes a physical character through which the soul can gather the experience and then bring this experience back to the higher self. Or in other words, it's like the player as a higher self sits down at the computer, starts to play the game, and starts to gather the experience of the game. So eventually, why is it a game and why is it a good comparison? Well, so in a computer game, once you enter the digital world, while you're playing, you have a reality which is kind of very unique. It has its own rules, it has its own rewards, it has its own values, it has its own structure. Like any computer game has specific rules upon every player agrees when they enter it. So all of the players in a game agree upon the rules that they play. The same way in life. Everybody have agreed to play under the same rules that this reality has been made. So we enter this world, we play this game, and when the time has ended and it's time for us to move on to our other reality, then the higher self just stands up out of the computer and goes away and just closes or deletes the character. So eventually, the character, not like in a computer game, while he's playing the game, everything that is in the game is important. Other players, the reality, the rewards, the adventures, and blah, blah, blah. But once it finishes, a player, when he exits the game, he cannot take with him not the rewards, not the money, not the players, not the family, not the kids. You cannot take nothing away from here. The only thing that you'll carry out is just your personal experience. That's it. Only your personal experience. So if you're come here alone and you go away from here alone, try to guess on whose life and whose path and whose game it is most valuable to focus. Obvious, yeah? In computer game and allowing other players to do whatever they want. But somehow in this lifetime, we're more focused in discussing what everybody around are doing and forget that we came here for ourselves and eventually we'll go away here by ourselves. And the only thing that will carry out is the experience and the creation and those feelings that we have experienced here. So if I came here for the experience that it's important for me to live through, why should I focus on other people, problems, situations when I came here for myself? Why I need to give away my energy to all the rest of the people if I will leave this game by myself? When I'll die, and all of us will eventually, and I'll be standing there and having an overview over the game time that I played or the life that I lived. How do you think? Will there be standing your parents next to you, or your children, or your friends, or your boss, or your government? No, you'll just be standing there by yourself and explaining yourself why you mixed up and why you didn't use the opportunities in the way that you wanted, why you didn't share the love to yourself when you had the opportunity, why you were wasting your time at this valuable gift for which you paid a very high price to enter. As to play the game of life, well, it's a very high price you have to pay to become part of it. But this is a different topic. So, in other words, focusing on ourselves and really understanding what is important for me and why I came here creates for you a fundament thanks to which you become invincible. Because nobody can break you with their logic. Nobody can make you to do something what you don't want to do. And you learn to have the option of saying no and choosing that what is important for you. So as a result, it is very very good to have this knowledge about yourself, because once you have this fundament, you become very free. So for this reason, in the work that we will do, I hope you understand. So we'll analyze ourselves, we will analyze our bodies, we'll analyze our souls, we will formulate the goals and the aims which are connected with the values of our soul and the main purpose why I came here. We will start to learn how we can self-love ourselves, how practically we can show ourselves the love in actions. As to tell love yourself, it's very easy. But what it practically means, love yourself. And this is already what I discovered. It's a mystery for many people. And I'll share and we'll share different practices, how you can practically, literally practically start to love yourself and to take care of yourself. And it doesn't matter if you don't believe that you can love yourself, you can have the whole confidence that when you'll start to take care of yourself, you'll start to believe in yourself and you'll start to be grateful to yourself. And once you start to be grateful to yourself and love yourself, everything starts to change. Because when you have love inside, well, love can be shared with you. And the opposite, if you want to get love from the outside and inside you're empty, you're tired, you're angry, you criticize yourself, you undervalue yourself and your results in life and your life experience. Well, how do you think? Can people love you if you don't love yourself? Can people respect you if you don't respect yourself? Can people support you if you constantly criticize yourself? Can people value the things that you don't value in your own life? Well, this is something that will smoothly also open up. And this is one of the greatest mysteries how life, this game is structured, that everything what happens inside, that is what you get on the outside. That all of reality is just a reflection of the vibration of the relationship that you have with yourself, with your in your inner world, with your soul. What you feel inside, this is what reality will reflect. So, and afterwards, during this work, we'll also dive a little bit deeper into the topic of ancestors. We'll see the patterns and the strategies which were passed on by our families or cultures. There's a very specific reason why you and I have chosen those families who were born in those cultures and countries, and which knowledge and strength it gives us, even though that maybe the childhood and life wasn't so easy. As we understand now from the things that I shared that we came here for experience, then we can understand that hard experience brings more development, or a hard path gives more life experience and spiritual evolution rather than a very easy path and an easy flow. So everybody who has created an adventure in their childhood through their families and cultures, well, just know you're strong, and this was an express training for starting to believe in yourself and to see how strong you are, so that eventually you would be independent. So these are the things that we will also work through. And eventually, yeah, there will be also aspects of meditation. This is a very special meditation that just has to be practiced, connected with higher self, through which we can literally go into the controls panel in our avatar and change things which we want to change. So one of the strengths that they have also taken away from us, and remember, told slavery mindset, uh, the moment we stop believing into ourselves and in our godly nature, we stop believing that I can control my life, or I can control my health, or that my body, my avatar belongs to me, and I can actually program it, and I can actually use it. People don't get surprised when you tell them that you can program your phone or that you can program your computer. Nobody has doubt in that. But when I tell people, well, you can actually program yourself, your health and your body, this is your body. Why you go to some doctors and institutions to make you believe that you're sick, or make you believe that you need to eat pills so to heal? Do you understand that how easy it is to manipulate people who don't believe that they have the powers to heal themselves? And if we don't know and don't believe in ourselves and in the natural, let's say, gifts and strengths we were given from childhood, it's very easy to be manipulated. As for me personally, well, I don't care how much money a person makes or how much power he has, how much fame he has. If I know how to take care of your health, you will eventually come to me and give away even your last money just to have an extra 1 month or half a year of lifetime here. And this is what happens in modern medicine. It never focuses on healing people. It focuses people to let go of pain, as eventually in our daytime, for us, it's a norm to think that being sick once a year, it's a normal thing. When in the past, people got sick, there's even an old saying that you get sick when you die. So literally, people got sick before their death, and people were healthy all of their lifetimes. Can you understand it? That our ancestors were healthy all of their lifetime, and they got sick before they died. In our life, we think it's normal to be sick every year, some think it's normal to be sick every day, and then and that this is something what is typical for our human body. No, just know, if you have any type of sickness, it's a reflection of a problem that you have inside. And it's important to solve this problem, or the sickness will continue to develop, as the pain of the soul creates a vibration. If you don't deal with the pain of the soul and the things that is important for the soul, this pain will create a sickness. If you ignore the sickness, it will create a chronic sickness. And if you don't deal with the chronic sickness, it will create a death sickness. A death sickness usually means that the player, the higher self, this cannot get control over this avatar. This avatar is being manipulated by the system and other players. So it's wasting the time. It's gathering negative karma. It's not doing and not getting the experience what it needs. So eventually, do we have interest in a character that it's not doing the things for which I have created this character? How do you think? Will I give energy and support to a character who is wasting the energy upon other people's system, games, and rules? Taking the karma, for example, when a person goes to war, creating a lot of karma for himself. How do you think? Do you need such a character? Because one thing you have to know, that you will always pay the karma. You will always, always, always pay the karma. This lifetime, next lifetime, your children, grandchildren, always the karma is being paid. Always. This is the infinite rules law for balancing this life and this universe. So, in other words, during our work through this course, we will have very interesting dynamics in which you have to understand. You want to get results, you're the magic. I and Thomas will share different knowledges and techniques, but the results will come only if you act. You act, you get results. You know, you go to the gym, you'll become stronger. You do yoga, you become flexible. You lead a diary, you'll become more conscious and understandable what is happening in your life. We live in a time when our attention is being stolen, and we live in a time when Google, the governments, or the World Bank knows about you more than you do about yourself, about your habits, about your mindset, about your values, about how long will you live, which sicknesses will you have, what is eventually where you will even die. All of this are being modulated and calculated in our modern days. And the same people, they don't know themselves because they don't gather statistics. If you have statistics, you can analyze and see what are the reasons why I have this result. When we don't have statistics, when we don't have data, it's very hard to understand where's the mistake. So why does the governments, Google and the World Bank know about you more than you do? Because they're gathering statistics about your life. They're gathering the statistics through your childhood, school time, university time. They gather the statistics through the surveys that they do, through the Google searches. So they always constantly analyze you. But you yourself, do you analyze yourself? Or do you allow the big players to have more better understanding about you than you have? So if you want to have the control over your life, this is why it's so important, and this course is also partly called the diary, amanitamuscaria diary, because I want for you during our course to get that strength of understanding that if you lead your diary, if you gather information about yourself, you'll have the understanding why those things happen in my life, why I meet these people, why these coincidences happen in my life. So if you have statistics about yourself, you can control and analyze yourself. If you don't have statistics about yourself, it's very easy to be lost and not to know where you're heading. So this course is really about learning to focus on yourself, focusing your energy upon yourself, taking care of yourself, carrying responsibility for yourself, learning to create borders and saying no to other people, and finally telling yes to myself, to everything that is important for me. as only from me and I, the rest is being created. You don't take care of yourself, then you're an irresponsible person who is in childish position, who waits for somebody to solve your life, to solve your problems, and to solve the issues which you can easily solve by yourself. Why to search for support and respect from others when you can support yourself? You can respect yourself. You can value yourself. Why we're constantly waiting for somebody to come and help us when we have all of the powers to do it by ourselves? So this course, first of all, develops a responsibility for my life, for my soul, for my creation, and developing a responsibility for the only person who you're already carrying responsibility. You understand? It doesn't matter, do you believe or not, or you think about it or not, when you die, you will only carry responsibility for yourself. So maybe it's time now to put it on a conscious level and carry it from this point on consciously, the responsibility for my life. And already now to create that what I want to have. And maybe not to wait for a heaven or upper worlds or anything else after death, when we can create here in life that heaven for ourselves, not the world, for ourselves. If you can create your personal heaven in your life, well, this is the only thing that will actually show other people what can be heaven. And if we try to create heaven for everyone and we have just the shitty reality inside of us, how do you think? What can we create? Of course, only what we feel inside. If we feel shitty inside, we create a shitty reality, even with the best intentions. And this we have seen through the history very often. The last one big change of the focus on the greater good and transformation we had in the Second World War, when they decided to make a perfect world with perfect people. So just know that you have the powers, and we will do our best to provide you all of the tools so you would finally learn how to focus your attention on yourself, focus your energy on yourself, understanding the things that are truly important for you, formulate the requests that are truly important for your soul and your reincarnation in this lifetime, learning to take care of ourselves, learning to love ourselves, learning to heal ourselves, and learning to keep the flow of energy of our consciousness, our actions, on the one and only important person in your life for who you are already carrying responsibility. So, this is a small overview in a structured way about the things that we will do. Along this flow, we will discuss, of course, different things in details depending on the request, the problems, the questions, and the things that are now important in your life. You have to know that if you can make a request and formulate a question, if you can write a question to Google, you can find an answer. The same here. If you know what you want to discover, and we can find the answer to that question. Because no, if you can formulate a question, you already know 50% of the answer. Just think about it. If you know the question and you can formulate, you already know 50% of the answer. The rest 50% is just to kind of bring it up from the subconsciousness, from the soul to the level of. So, wrapping it up, that during our work, I hope now you understand what will be the course about and how we'll focus. Every week will be kind of dedicated to specific topic. On Sundays, we're going to have the group calls, and on Wednesdays, it will be like group dynamics. So in other words, Wednesdays, it will be group dynamics and group work. And on Sundays, it will be lecture time upon the topics which throughout the week, and those questions which turn out to be the most interesting and important for us in this flow of development. Along the way, we will share some videos with some homework. So I especially try to organize this course that it would be an enjoyable, easy way. So the work that we will do it will take not more half an hour a day of taking care of yourself and doing the actions, so you will see the results. So know and be confident that I know how our brain plays and how it tries to fool us. So we'll play a very simple way in a game how we can learn to navigate our brain and not to find excuses, especially logical excuses, why I shouldn't do it right now. We will find and I'll share some tools and small tricks how you can learn to control your mind and focus your attention. For example, there are many things, but just a small example. In many cases, people focus, for example, you need to do some kind of work, or for example, you're learning to write a diary. And you think, oh, I'm so lazy right now to write a diary. What should I write there? And the aim is not to focus on writing the diary. The focus inside of our head is just to start writing. I'll give another example. If we want to do sports, the aspect is not to focus on doing sports, but to start to train. If you focus your attention just to start to train, then you start training and you're gonna do the sports. But if you focus your attention on the sports and the mind might play a game with you and you will never start, you will always want to do sports, or you always want to start a diary, or you always want to travel, or you want to always do something. But until you won't start doing, nothing will work. So that's why it's more effective to focus your attention on the things that you want to start. As when you start, you're gonna get your wonderful results. So I would say that this is the small overview and the wrap up about the work that we will do during the course. I have right now put it together in Telegram chat of the participants, and at the same time, everybody who wants to join, you can easily drop me a message or Thomas a message, and afterwards I'll just send you some bank details, or we can decide how it's possible to make the payment. And at the same time, during this coming week, the first things that we will do is we will make some diagnosis of ourselves, and we'll start with the group work. And along the way, we'll just unfold the greatest mystery of our lifetime. And it's who? Of course, it's us. That is the greatest mystery in your life. The same as in my greatest mystery is me. As all of us, what we try to do is to understand who am I and who I am truly, why I came here, and what I truly want to create. So, thank you very much for listening, and let's go now to the question and answer session. And do please let me know or put your thumbs up if this resonates with you and the things that I share are interesting for you. You got. So, Thomas, can you tell me, can you allow everybody also to turn on their cameras and their audios?
Yeah, but I made you the host, so you have to do it.
Okay, it's a deal. Lower. Okay, this is actually a good question, how to turn on exactly through this method, allow everybody to type and chat. We will use a different type of Zoom calls or typical calls. But for now, enable reaction. Yeah, because here I see it's not so easy to understand how to allow everybody. But please just write in chat if you have questions. How to allow everybody to turn on?
Let me try something.
Okay, I make you the host. Try to
Okay. Hmm. Mhm.
or no. Yeah. Yeah, darlings. I can tell you that now we have this Zoom call for organizing a head webinar has very complex settings, and it doesn't allow for people to turn on their videos. And I cannot find the place where we can allow everybody to have calls. Typically, in all of our calls, you'll be able to speak, turn on the video, and we'll interact with each other profoundly. But for this call, if you have any questions, just write in the chat, and we will then have. I don't think there's a way to turn on our cameras in this Zoom workspace. Yes, um, it's literally, it seems so because I right now pushed all of the opportunities where to turn on, and unfortunately, it doesn't show me. Very strange because sometimes Zoom is good, and some things it's very strange. So let's go by the topic questions. So now from Davey, do you know the time for the calls yet? So we will try to focus in arranging calls by, let's say, European time. We have some participants who are from Europe. We have some participants who are also from Canada, and we have some participants who are from Asia. So we have truly like people from all of the parts of the world. So we will make some votes in the group, but typically the calls we focus to make them around 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the mornings by European time, Berlin time or London time, on Wednesdays and on Sundays. But the details we will decide by ourselves by the voting in the group of the specific time when we'll organize it. Mhm. Next question. Very well spoken. Can really resonate. Oh, thank you very much. Very appreciated. Mhm. So feel free to write any questions or and maybe well, if anybody is typing, all I can say is
Hello.
that yes. Oh, we hear someone. Please.
Hello, Vadim, it's Pamela. For some reason I'm
Yes. Hey,
unmuted. Wait a second. Let me see if I can start the video. Okay, so the video doesn't work, but the audio is working.
beautiful.
So I got something that said join as panelist. So I'm not sure if anybody else received that same thing. I don't have actually any specific questions. I just saw that my mic was unmuted and I'm happy to be here. And yeah, I guess that's it for now.
Well, thank you very much, Pamela. And by the way, as you participated already in one of the courses in the past, maybe you can just share some feedbacks from your experience, which impact it had in your life, and how much did it help you practically, or it didn't help you practically? Could you just share a little
Yeah,
bit?
sure. So yeah, it's been actually really, really life transforming. I don't even know where to start. So yeah, with the Amanita and the diary, I took a plunge last year by joining Vadim's course. And I just love Vadim and the way that he speaks about everything so simplistically and at the same time so powerfully. And yeah, I've been journaling. I obviously journaled more during our course, but I go on and off journaling, especially the most important things. And since then, I've made actually many transformations. I opened a small yoga studio, which became too small. And then we ended up moving to a bigger space, which just opened a month ago. And
Awesome.
I was praying and asking and journaling about like getting help with my children and all the issues I was having with them and my own mental health and my own issues and rage. And so many things have improved in that department of my life. It's incredible. I also manifested a girl, well, actually a couple that are staying in an RV on my land that are helping out with my kids, and they're helping out with all the projects on the land. So I've started a garden to get more sustainable, and they're really, really amazing. My kids' mental health has improved so much also with having those two people supporting us. And yeah, and with this course, I would like to get my house in more order. So that is not really totally fluid the way that I want it to be. So yeah, I want to keep manifesting and just keep going. And I don't really see any better place to do it than with you.
Oh, thank you very much, Pamela. And I'm so happy to hear about the yoga studio and the health of the children and the changes while you were speaking. So what you shared, and it's beautiful, and it's beautiful. When I hear such feedbacks, it of course inspires me to continue sharing and continue to arrange the course in such a way that it would be in the future accessible for everyone. So thank you very much, sister.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Vadim.
much.
Very happy to be here.
Beautiful. Namaste. Oh, I see one question was asking the question and answers. I'll just open it in the chat. Or, yeah, it's here. How can you overcome the first hurdle to get things done when you can't feel joy for anything? Well, usually when we feel, let's say, kind of tied up, it usually means that we have inside of our head a specific kind of mindset and block, that our mind is blocking our energy, and through that, it tries to make us not to act. So this is why the main thing in achieving something is just to start acting, start doing it. And then along the process, you get your energy, like the brain gives you the energy, gives you like the support. An example with, for example, sports training. Yeah, inside of the head, the brain's like, oh, I don't want to do sports. Maybe I'll start tomorrow. But then once you start the training, or you start jogging, or you start the training, just 5, 10, 15 minutes, and that's it. You're in the flow of that, what you're doing. You have the energy from unexpected. You have the energy and the mood ready to do it. So one of the important things to know that if you think you don't have energy, in many cases it's an illusion. Each one of us has such a big amount of energy that we can work as a nuclear plant. What does it mean? That all of our bodies has over 10 billion cells. One cell has at least 10,000 kilojoules. I hope I said it in English correctly. That's the amount of energy. So when you multiply 10,000 kilojoules on the 10 billion cells, you get such a huge amount of energy, that each one of us can light up a big city for at least a week with that amount of energy which we have inside. So when our mind is trying to tell us that we don't have energy and we don't want to do it, it usually means that we don't have yet in our head a developed pattern for this new habit. And so to develop it, we just have to start acting. We just have to do. Once we start doing it, the neurons in our head develops, and then energy is being given. I'll give you also such an example. It doesn't matter how tired you are, or how lazy you are, or you're maybe dead tired after, I don't know, 3 days of hard work, or a week or a month. So imagine you're lying in your bed and you're thinking you're dead tired. And then one of the sudden the door breaks down a big grizzly bear. Just imagine a big 2.5-meter tall grizzly bear. How do you think? Will you get energy to get out of your apartment? How do you think how quickly you'll run from your apartment and get out? How do you think how much energy just one of the sudden you'll have inside? So this is just a small reflection that we have a huge amount of energy. But to start to take it out, it's important just to act. How to start acting? Well, some tools I'll share with you in the ways how you can focus your mind and consciousness and overcome the barriers of the manipulations of our minds. And then once you're acting, things will start to get better. Also, such a small example, you know, when people are depressed, they don't have energy. And when people are depressed, they're very much in their minds. They're constantly thinking about the past, about the future, about blah, 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 blah. But they're always thinking. They're not acting. And all of the day, what they do, they usually just sit there and think. And when the day finishes, they're empty. They don't have energy for nothing. They say, I don't have energy for anything. I'm so tired and blah, blah, blah. So this happens exactly because the person is not acting. Because if the person would start to act, this depressed person would start to go to do sports, start to do meditation, start to take care of himself. He would start to generate energy. We get energy from generating energy by ourselves. Have you noticed that if you have a productive day and you did a lot of things, you want to do more? I mean, you have even more energy than in the days when you do nothing. Or the days when you do few things, you have much less energy than at the days when you have achieved and done many things in your life. So may this reflection be the understanding that we have always energy inside, but to use it, we need to start acting. So learning to start to act generates and activates our strength, our potential, and our energies for that, what we want to manifest in a practical way. So learning to act is the best way on turning on your energy. So hope this gives a more deeper insight, Debbie, to your question.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yeah.
can. Beautiful.
Hi, good morning. Yes,
Good
thank you. I'm still sort of struggling with acting when I have this strong anxiety that still keeps me from acting. And there I still don't know, where do I listen to, okay, I don't have to push myself, or where do I need to go through it? So there I'm still struggling, not suppressing the anxiety, but not pushing myself. So that's where I'm still struggling.
Well, sister, it's a really good request in understanding where is our soul speaking to us and where is kind of the mind manipulating us. And this we will, let's say, this topic we will focus very deeply during the course, but a very simple way of answering it's truly to know yourself, know your values, and what you need. And there's one aspect when I feel I want to do it, and there's another thing when my mind tells me I have to do it. So by learning to distinguish between emotions and feelings and the vibration that comes from the soul and the mind, we can truly understand which are the moments we should act and in which moments we should focus and relax on ourselves. So here we can create even a logical kind of pattern of understanding when my soul or when my mind is speaking with me, when my essence is telling me that I should do it or I shouldn't do it. And when the programs of the culture, which are in our mindset, is manipulating us and are being activated. So most beautiful thing that your day already are acting and understanding that you need to act. And in many cases, you have already, you're already in the flow. So it's all about continuing and just managing the small details of understanding yourself and just implementing it in a practical way. So I believe that this request will be it's an important one, and that actually will dedicate maybe even one of the calls, a specific lecture on this topic. How to best of all distinguish when the information comes from my soul or my mind, when I truly, it's important for me to act, or when it's important for me to relax.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm. You're welcome, sister. You're welcome. So exactly these things, details, and questions, everything that is important to discover and to know, just know we can work everything through during the time that we're together. Just ask, speak out, share. You live your life for yourself. That's why it's so important to learn to share about your life, that you would learn to analyze yourself. The more you can share about yourself, the more easier you can understand yourself, analyze yourself, and find the answers to yourself and your life. Okay, well, on this beautiful note, maybe Thomas, you want to add something or to share? Please.
Yes. There was just, I think, was it Debbie? It was called Debbie. Yeah. What you asked was such a fundamental and very beautiful question, because I think that we all can relate to this kind of anxiety that can arise now and then. And this is exactly what this course is about. It's about groundingness, and it's about knowing when to relax, and knowing when to act, and actually eliminate this anxiety in the way that you know when it comes, then you know exactly what to do. So this is one of our goals for the course, actually. So this is what we will teach you through the emotional, but no, through the physical body, and through the emotional body, through the mental body, and then through the higher mind, through the spiritual body. Then when you will go through these meditations, Vadim, he have already unfolded it a lot right now, what it actually means with these three or like four bodies that we have. Then you will instantly know what to do, actually. Yeah. So
Mhm.
that is like the goal. I think that this is the most concrete goal, because like as soon as you have this awareness of what to do every time that you encounter any form of resistance, then you are free. Then you know how to follow your how to follow your impulses, how to follow your intuition, and everything will just like flow in the way that you will live in accordance with the law of attractions. Like we already live by the law of attraction, every one of us, but now you know how it works and what to do when it like doesn't work, or when it shows you the kind of resistance that everybody encounters. And this is the aspect of freedom, and of self-love, and of self-respect, and of taking care of oneself, and all of these things that Vadim have told us. What's really amazing about you saying this, that is, it's the point is that you have made the request. So in a way, you have already received your answer. Now you just need to act it out, and that is the point of action that we want to give you in this course. So you will act out how to play life's game in accordance with your higher mind, in accordance with your soul's desires. So you will know who you are, and then when you have this confidence, then everybody will just be much more calm around you. They will look up to you, and you might not be like the richest man on earth, which is not the point either. The point is to have what you need right here, right now, because we are all living in the present, right? um, so yeah, I think this, what we have been telling you now, it's the second most important thing. The most important thing you will get in our course, which is the manual. So now we have, it's like, imagine you are playing with Lego or with any kind of bricks or something. We have now, Vadim and I, we have like scattered it all out on the floor. And this is the first thing. Now we have given you like all the tools, but if you would really know how to use them and how to put them into order, and live life as it was a game, then you will then we will be more than happy to see you on our course, where we will serve you the most important things of how to put it all into order, so you can play life as it was a game. So thank you very much for attending, and thank you very much, Vadim. Beautiful words as always. We will upload the recording and send it to you on an email. Yeah. And Vadim, when will we start the course?
So you can say that this first call, this is already the entrance gate for everybody on the course. And we're going to have on Wednesday the first group call, the group dynamics. So on Wednesday, there will be the next call where we'll already go dive deeper into discovering and getting to know each other in a deeper way, personal way. So everybody will share a little bit about their life paths, their requests, their stories, and that we could see and synchronize in the most important topics and information that we need. So for now, I want to give my deep gratitude for everybody to join. And I hope the time flew fast, enjoyable, and I wish you all a beautiful Sunday and even a more beautiful life. Enjoy the gift that you have created and you already deserve. Namaste. Cool.
Bye-bye.
So
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
yes, and just drop a message to me, to Thomas, or in the chat. So the rest we'll figure out in our personal private chats. Okay, see you. Much love. And thank you all for joining. And thank you very much, Thomas, for helping arranging the call.
Thank you too. Bye-bye.
See you.